saying goes, you can't know where you're going until you know where you've been. Professor Miguel Pérez has been to many places, traveling extensively throughout the United States and documenting Latino heritage along the way.
I'm Miguel Pérez. I'm a professor at Lehman College in the Bronx. I was born in a very small country town called La Salud in Havana province. I'm a journalism professor basically, but I also teach a Hispanic history class, the history of Latinos in the United States. And what I teach them is what was left out of American history books. The United States history was written by New England scholars, and they begin American history when the British arrived. Unfortunately, what I tell my students, and they always remember that line, is history is written by the winners. Who took over the United States of America after Spain and France and all these different powers were fighting for the space? It was the United States. It was the British United States. And 100 years or so, more than 100 years of Hispanic contributions, Hispanic explorers going all over what is now the United States is ignored. So I tell my students, excuse me, you know about Lewis and Clark? Yeah, of course, we know about Lewis and Clark. We learned that in American history. But Hernando de Soto, he did that 200 years earlier. There's a Hispanic history all over the place. The San Antonio River is the Hudson, but it was first called the San Antonio River by a guy named Esteban Gomez. Nobody knows who Esteban Gomez is, but Esteban Gomez came to the New York area long before a lot of other explorers. He charted the East Coast of the United States, and when he went back, based on his charts, they drew maps of the East Coast of the United States, and those maps called the Northeast of the United States, La Tierra de Esteban Gomez. Unfortunately, Latinos are treated like foreigners because most Americans don't know the history. A line that I always use when I give a speech, when they ask me how long I've been an American, I say, all my life. And it's because, you know, we are all Americans. So yeah, the history that I teach in a synopsis is the missing chapters of American history that were Spanish. I was vacationing in southern Arizona. I had gone to the Grand Canyon, and I drove down further because I had heard of this church that was just magnificent. And I had this rebirth in there. It is just the most beautiful church you can imagine. And sitting there, I said to myself, if there are places like this that people don't know about, there must be other places like this. And I have to write about all of them. Hidden Hispanic Heritage is the name of my site. I've traveled all over the country visiting Hispanic heritage sites. I take photos of all these places and then I write about them. And let me tell you, my students tell you that my history lessons are so much more interesting because they have photos next to them. I have fulfilled many dreams in my career. I'm very proud of what I've done, really. As a journalist and now as a semi-historian, and I call myself a journalist who writes about history. But this project is very important to me. While I teach my class, I'm converting my website into a book. I really want to leave that behind.